Greetings, my fellow adventurers. I am Potato on a Quest, and today I have successfully located the legendary statue of making a quick buck. A statue that was used in the ancient civilization's everyday life when someone wanted to get rid of old junk they didn't need in exchange for monies. Now, even though there may not be anyone around to collect it, I have here an old hat that I'm going to put on the arm of eBay, just to see what happens anyway. Gasp! It worked! I just made a quick buck and got rid of an old item that I didn't need. Amazing! You know, this little quest for a bit of cash kind of reminds me of the time that I...
Squawk! Smelly hat! Smelly hat! Want refund! Give money back!
What? A refund? Now hold on just a second. I don't remember reading anything that says that I may need to...
Squawk! Squawk! Ow!
Hey! Ah! Get away from me, you feathered freak show! Ow! Ow! Ow!
Deep in the mysterious Bustani jungle, far away from the world of men, lives a potato on his never-ending quest to do a thing.
You know, there are a number of things that you could call a sort of rite of passage to childhood. Things that just every kid ever experiences. One that I was thinking about recently is how at some point in a kid's young years, they want something, and want it so bad that they're willing to do any chore or multiple chores to force their parents to give them money, and do that enough times to finally have enough for them to buy the thing that they desire. Barring that, the parents are smart and don't just spoil said kids by just giving them whatever they want all the flippin' time. It seems to me that something kids in general tend to really like is video games. Kids these days probably really want, if not already have, a PS5 or Nintendo Switch. I guess that is until this video becomes super old and the PS5 and Nintendo Switch are considered old school now. Hey, if you're watching this video when the Switch is considered vintage or old school, hello, future? Do we finally have flying cars yet? Has it finally started feeling like the world has stopped being on fire? Wait, what was I talking about? Oh, right, kids like the games. While kids these days might have the Nintendo Switch on the top of their Christmas list, when I was a wee lad, there were at least two gaming consoles I remember every kid wanting. The PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. If you're too young to know, this was an upgrade to the first successfully popular gaming-on-the-go device, the original Game Boy. You know it's old when it didn't even have color. Ah, that pea-soup green screen. I love the original Game Boy. This was all before smartphone technology, you know. They did make a Game Boy that had color eventually, but the GBA was the real successor right here. Why else would they call it Advance? In my elementary school, you were still cool if you had the first Game Boy. But if you had a GBA, you were one hot muffin. And I wanted my own... I wanted my own Game Boy Advance so bad that I was willing to do just about anything. This wasn't anything like, oh, I just want a few dollars for ice cream at the ice cream truck. This was a quest for a Game Boy Advance. The Bustani Jungle Guide calls this concept determination. The heart of every adventurer is filled with determination for something desirable at least once in their life. My parents told me that if I wanted a GBA, I'd have to earn my own money to do it. Especially since I did have a used regular Game Boy already at the time. I remember doing all kinds of chores, just anything that I thought could give me money in any way. One thing that I remember doing to try and earn money in this quest for a GBA was the classic idea you hear of so many other kids setting up to make some money: a lemonade stand outside the house. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Josh, I thought you and all your friends were produce items with faces. Wouldn't lemonade for you be like, murder? To that I say, well, yes, I have met some lemons in my life. But the difference is that we are anthropomorphic. I may be a potato, but I'm not like a normal potato. Normal potatoes don't start YouTube channels. Normal potatoes get made into delicious French fries. So no, my lemonade stand was not like selling a beverage made out of the blood of my neighbors or something. Man, I was like a regular entrepreneur over here. It's like it was my very first quest for a paycheck in a business solely ran by me. I remember I brought out a little table that my family used as the kids' table in big family gatherings. Brought out cheap chairs that were used for when said table was in use in family gatherings. Had a nice tall pitcher of lemonade that I made with my mommy's help. Put out the classic child-made sign that reads, "Lemonade for 25 cents." I had empty glasses all ready to fill with lemonade for all the customers just eagerly waiting this random kid's lemonade stand to open. I had everything ready and... Yeah, in hindsight, I shouldn't have expected that much being a little adventurer in the small portion of the jungle known as the trailer park. It's not like the street in front of my house was a road that was really ever busy, but I still figured that I'd be able to catch enough attention from those that drove or even walked past my little trailer house to finally have the money for a GBA. I did have some neighbors come by and showed friendly support for my new business and gave a couple of quarters in exchange for some lemonade, but it was a rough start getting the attention that I needed to make a profit. Maybe I should have paid for some ads. Dear Mr. PewDiePie, would you be willing to sponsor my lemonade stand in your next YouTube video? Thanks, smiley face, and send. So while I was sitting around outside my house with a pitcher of lemonade on a cheap little table, my next door neighbor friend, who was my age, came over and was like, "You made a lemonade stand?" "Yeah, I really want a GBA, so I'm trying to sell this juice that was made from a powder that anybody can get at the store anyway." As you can see from this diagram, a GBA costs like $100, and I had our accountants run the calculations. If we are going to meet our goal, we're going to need to sell 400 glasses of lemonade before the next quarter. Cool, can I help? And so my next door neighbor friend and I sat together in an attempt to sell lemonade. Super nice of her to try and help out, even if all we did was just sit there hoping that we'd get customers flocking over to where we were by just believing in it so hard we could almost blast off into space. And still, business was slow. Maybe there's something we can add to this stand to make it more interesting and get more people over here. Oh, good idea! Maybe like a bigger sign, or a dancing sign person, or one of those dancing blow-up noodle things. Yeah! Or maybe something more realistic, like other drinks we can sell as well too. Gasp! Great idea! Yep, my friend and I decided to add more drink options to the stand. Now, I don't entirely remember all of the options that we came up with. There may have been like some Kool-Aid or something. But I definitely remember that there was at least my idea to take whatever sodas we had in our fridge and sell that for not just 25 cents, but 50 cents. And then my friend's idea to sell ice water for absolutely free. Oh, what a great idea! I don't understand. The new ice water drink has been selling like hotcakes. Why haven't we made any profit? I think the problem is the soda. I bet people think it's too expensive. We should lower the price to 45 cents. One other thing that I remember about my lemonade stand was that the old man that lived across the street from us saw us sitting out there with our variety of drinks, came over and gave us a $50, saying that he thought it was neat to see us out here doing this. My friend and I offered him any of our drinks, even the free ice water, but he said, "Oh, no, that's okay. But good job out here anyway." Sadly, that's about all the business that happened with my lemonade stand. So, needless to say, I got nowhere near enough money for a Game Boy Advance. But to my surprise, my parents actually got me a Game Boy Advance for my birthday that very year. I'm guessing that my parents saw how much that I was doing to get myself enough money for one, and decided to help me out in my quest, since it clearly meant that much to me at the time. I mean, it was either that or they just wanted to stop me trying to get rid of all their root beer. So I guess the moral of the story is that parents can still do something special for their kids without spoiling them by giving them everything that they want all the flipping time. 'Cause even though they got me a GBA, I still couldn't convince my parents to get me a GameCube. I had to do that much later when it was already outmoded and cheap. And so that's the adventure I like to call the day I started and ended my business selling lemonade. I'm gonna head down to the first aid lands on a quest for some bandages. Have yourself a nice adventure. Hiya, guys! Don't click away just yet because I have something very important to say. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then guess what? They have a button for that now. You think you may like a video, and then you click that thumbs up button, and it makes it, like, official. Also displayed on this golden brick wall is another video that I think that you may enjoy if you really liked this one. Consider subscribing to get all the latest updates in my YouTube adventure. I appreciate you listening to this very important message. Have yourself a nice adventure, guys.